Hey, what's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Just My Opinion. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. And with this one right here, we're talking Power Book 2, Season 2, Episode 4, title, Getting These Ends. And guys, I'm really loving the season so far. I loved Episode 3. I loved Episode 4. These episodes are getting better and better and better. And I hope that continues on through duration of the show. So I'm gonna let you know this is going to be spoiler filled. I'm going to spoil it up, down, left, right, in, and out as if you've already seen it. So you have been warned, but also just to let you know, this is going to be kind of brief. I'm going to save all the nitty gritty for my live recap that I'm going to have Monday, December the 13th. I'm going to be about 4:30, 5 p.m. CST. I'm going to try for that time. I have a screening to go to that night, so I won't be able to have it at the regular time. So just make sure you subscribe and come back Monday. But I'm going to be doing that with my lovely guest, Miss Elia Cantu. We do this every week. If you go to my channel right here and you click this channel tab, she's on the second row over here to the right, and this is what her channel looks like. So make sure you subscribe to her and show us some love. And so come back Monday, December the 13th, about 4:30 p.m. or 5 p.m. CST for our live spoilery recap. But let's go ahead and get into this episode right here, what is it called again? Getting These Ends. And I really did like it. Now, I was tripping out at the very beginning because we have Carrie in the woods getting out like she's in some scary movie. I'm screaming at the TV, getting all emotional, like, woman, what are you doing? Get back in the car. You know, and this is not a scary movie. But at the same time, Jabari was murdered. And so she needs to have the mindset like, okay, I need to keep my head on a swivel. I need to make sure I'm looking, before I cross the street, all that good stuff, because she don't want to get popped off. And Monet is about that life, about to pop her off. She is busting windows and putting guns ahead, talking about, hey, I told you to stop smashing my nephew. If you don't listen to me, I'm going to have to deal with it. And let me know in the comments, was the reaction kind of weird coming from Carrie? I mean, it didn't really seem like she was scared, but I could be tripping. But I do like the force that Monet was coming with. Now, I also like the force that Tariq was coming with, too, on the next scene, with him going to Davis McLean and Sachs, just like, hey, I need you guys' help. Please do whatever you got to do to get, Zeke out the spotlight. They got the red dots on him. He's on the radar. We need to chill out. And I even though I don't like Sachs, I like the way he's thinking. Like, why do you care so much? Like, why are you so invested in him? And he just like, hey, I got to do what I got to do. And y'all know what Tariq said. I can't remember if he said, my scholarship depends on, him staying out of trouble. I know he said that to other characters. I can't remember if he said it to Sachs and Davis at that point right there, but Tariq coming in there dropping bars too, just like, hey, I need you guys' help, yada, yada, yada. And so, Tariq and Monet coming strong in this episode 4 right here. And next we got this right here. It was looking good in the trailer. We got the dean of the school, of the university. We got Councilman Tate, Professor Milgram. We also have Steve Whitman and also Stern in there. And they just like, look, dude. Yeah, and what is his name? Whitman, like, this seems like an internal matter. What am I doing here? Stern, I summoned you here. Hey, man, why you barking up the wrong tree or whatever? Leave Zeke alone. You're messing up the university's name, yada, yada, and they don't got no evidence. And I'm like, I like the way that was coming at him. That's what's up right there. I like this camaraderie, but, a-hole Whitman over there like, oh, I have a motive. These people are smashing. I can't tell you right now that they're smashing, but they're smashing each other. And he's right. Everybody, they were, Milgram was smashing and, all that stuff right there. But I really do like the way the Stern just like, ha ha ha, everybody listens to me. I'm just like, oh, snap. His chess moves. So I don't like Stern, but at the same time, what they say, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. That's why you just don't try your best not to burn bridges. You know what I'm saying? Try your best not to burn bridges. But, Tate, he's smooth too. He's still trying to get at Milgram, but in nefarious ways. Just like, oh, you've been smashing this person too, and you've been smashing the detective. And I like the way that she stepped to him, just like, hey, bro, what are you doing? Why don't you use your power, use your will, use this energy that you're trying to put at me to get in my pants and help out Zeke so you can come out the hero. Why don't you clear his name and, make yourself look good? And I'm not mad at him for that. Well, I'm not mad at her for that. That makes a lot of sense right there. And so, there you go. Now, I got to be honest, I was not liking Davis the past few episodes, but I do like his energy in this one right here. He's demanding $1 million and they got to get the money. Do you think he is wrong for that? Do you think he is, well, of course he's exploiting them to some degree. And who stole the money out the safe? Was it Deanna? Because she was texting, I forgot who she was texting. I think she was texting Davis like, hey, can you transfer the money? And then at some point, you know, he was like, no, I can't do that. That's impossible right now. She was like, damn, or whatever. You know, but who took the money? We know that later on when she went to go see Tejada in jail for their little conjugal visit, and she just is not enjoying that anymore at all. Unfortunately, he was like, you know, she was like, hey, I need your signature for the, you know, do the mortgage. He was like, woman, are you crazy? No, I'm not finna put the house on risk. You know, I'm already in here. And I don't blame him for that. And he just like used the money, you know, that's in the safe. And so that makes sense why he would, you know, say that as a solution. But unfortunately, you know, the money's gone. So not Councilman Tate, but Davis McLean, he's over here trying to, you know, ask for $1 million. And, you know, do you think he's worth it? Do you think he's asking for too much? You know, y'all let me know. I don't know how I feel about that, but I know how I feel about this, how cute it is. Tariq and Lauren are walking into class and they're holding hands. I'm like, man, you know, okay, that's what's up. So I guess they're, you know, officially a couple, you know, if they're holding hands in public, but not really, you know. I don't know. That was just, I'm mad at Brishandria because she's like, oh, dang, Lawrence, you done locked that down like in front of everybody. I'm like, man, you don't got to do all of that. Will you please keep your mouth shut? But at the same time, you know, it was cute. It was cute. Now, this is possibly one of my favorite scenes out of the whole episode right here, where we got Steve Whitman versus Kamal Tate, you know, Councilman Tate's brother. I like that exchange back and forth, especially the facial reactions and expressions that Tate was giving us, you know, the investigator. He just like the whole time like, dude, like, what's going on? And like, he wasn't giving the reasons either, but he tried to be, Whitman tried to be slick with him, talking about how long you been a detective. He's like, watch your tone with me. I wore it right there. I was like, oh, yes, you know, like, don't be talking to him like that, you know? And so that, you know, of course, y'all, if you know me, if you've been subscribing, you know how I feel about that stuff right there. So that was cool right there. I really did appreciate that right there. And I also wasn't feeling MECCA in the last episode either, but I'm liking his energy in here too. You know, he's trying to help Kane step up in his organization. He's like, hey, I need you to do this and go over and knock out this Mahoney guy who's trying to take over my territory. Now, of course, you know, we know that he told Kane in the last episode, get bread in your pocket. You know, as long, you know, he's hungry to live this life. And so we're going to take advantage of that. We're going to exploit it. And of course, Kane goes and hires him, and he goes and picks him up. And, you know, he's a driver, lying to Tariq and all that hot jazz. And like, I got to give it to Braden. I mean, I think Braden is stupid for what he's doing, especially with all the white privilege he has. But I mean, he's getting experience. But I got to give it to him. When the dude pulled up to him with the gun, talking about, hey, what are you doing here? Get out here with the car, and had the handgun in his back pocket. I like the way the I don't know what I said. I like the way that Braden handled himself right there. He was like, you know, Ricky, Bobby, Mike, you know, Joe, the guys in there. You know, I mean, of course, he was just making them names on the fly. But, you know, he did his thing right there. I did appreciate it. But I'm also just really surprised of how his reaction was. I mean, Kane goes in there and does whatever he has to do just to, you know, steal the money or take that spot down. And Braden wasn't like, oh, crap, what are we doing? What do you got me into? He was enjoying it, like bullets hitting the car. He's like, woohoo. And that's what we saw in the trailer. I mean, we didn't know the context, or at least I didn't. And so, I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to promote this and it's like, yeah, you know, but I'm really surprised by Braden's reaction right here. Now, we also have, what is her name? Lauren. She gets busted, you know, because they're trying to do this sweeping of the campus with the drugs. They find the pills in there. I ain't no snitch. That's what she's saying. That's what's up right there. But they end up getting her to wear a wire, and that's where the watch comes in. And we saw at the very end of the episode where there was, I guess it was about to smash again, her and Tariq. You know, he was like, oh, this is a new rollie, and she took it off and put it into the bathroom. So I like that right there. I do appreciate that from her. She's being on code. Carrie is really, I mean, I don't know how I feel about Carrie in the position that she's in, telling Lauren like, you know, hey, you know, this could affect your, you know, you're trying to apply to grad school, you know, you getting a job, apply for housing, et cetera, et cetera. And people just need to work together. And I'll talk about that in a second later on when we're talking about Zeke's interview. But if look, I'm looking at it this way. Black people got to stay on code. You know, these black two women, Carrie Milgram and Lauren, they got to stick together. I don't know, somehow, I'm just having fun being silly right now. Lauren don't want to snitch, but at the same time, she don't want to mess up her chance in the future. So I like what she did by putting up the watch. But I'm trying to think of at the end in the bathroom, in the cabinet, in the medicine cabinet. But I'm trying to think of ways that Carrie could, you know, message on like, hey, you know, I'm going to pretend this way and pretend this way, but we ain't going to give no information away. because we don't want to be no snitch, but at the same time, I don't want you to, get this on your record. So, we're going to pretend that, I don't know. I'm just kind of, being silly, but I'm going to actually come up with a solution here in a second when we get to that interview. But now we got Drew Everett is back. Drew and Everett is back, and Drew goes to Everett, and, he hits up the basketball team, and he does this thing, and that they, do the GoFundMe, which is dope. And it's like, hey, we're not playing in the game until Zeke is clear of all these BS charges. So that's cool in the game. I like that right there. That's what's up. That's what's up. Now, right after that, this really frustrated me. Monet gave simple instructions. Zeke, stay in the house. Stay in the house. Stay out of trouble. And Drew, you make sure he does that. They cannot follow simple instructions. Zeke, if you would have just stayed your ass in the house, not got on social media, just sleep, eat, and play video games, watch TV. That's it. That's all you had to do. You would have not had to do the interview. Drew should have been smarter. Why would you go and punch the dude? Is a reporter. They're going to have cameras everywhere. You should have just went. Drew done for just like everybody is stupid times 3 in this scene right here. Drew is done for going outside in the first place. And then when Drew tells Zeke to go in the crib, no, I'm sorry. Zeke was stupid as hell for going outside in the first place. Then when Drew told him to go inside, no, everything is okay, Drew. It's going to be okay. Just go in the house. And then Drew should have came over there and pulled Zeke in the house. But no, Drew wants to go and hit the reporter. And then Zeke wants to come back out the house and they want to go down the street instead of going in. It's frustrating, man. And this is the part that pisses me off the most. At first, I was like, man, Zeke is really finna get out of this interview. Davis is going to save the day. Tariq is going to save the day by coaching him and all this. Zeke is doing fine. It was great. But then Jamil going to go off cold and be a coon and going to sabotage the black man live on national television. You know what I'm saying? That's messed up. In real life or this fake, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But you was playing yourself. And I get it. Let's say you, for instance, you work for the white man and they just like, hey, Jamil, this is your job. If you don't ask these hard questions, we're going to dock your pay. You're going to get in trouble. You're going to get written up. You're going to lose your job, whatever. You're going to get penalized. I understand that. We know that happens. But if that's the case, this is what I'm saying. Black people stick together. You need to sneak and let them know. Just be like, hey, look, man, my job is on the line right here. These are the GPG questions I'm gonna ask you, but they're making me ask these questions right here. So just make sure you have an answer. Okay, just make sure. I don't want to blindside you. Just make sure that I'm gonna ask about this. I'm gonna ask about the PBA card because they gave me this information. So I'm just letting you know I'm trying to win and you trying to win. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to keep my job and I'm not trying to sabotage you. You know what I'm saying? So here's a warning. Okay, just make sure you have an answer. Zeke, practice. But she didn't want to do that. I'm a journalist. I have a career or whatever she said. I'm a journalist. Man, if you don't get out of here with that, like I was frustrated as hell. And Zeke could not take the pressure. This is BS. This is BS. This is BS. And I'm just like, wow. And I'm just like, just for that, man, he did look guilty as hell. They want him to go and go turn himself in, which is crazy. That PBA card really did screw him because he could have easily said, I don't know, Ramirez, and they should have practiced. They cross-referenced the schedule and Ramirez is his schedule, and he ain't ever been to none of the games. I'm just like, man, they up a creek right now. So Zeke, but it don't matter because MECCA ended up paying the $1 million anyway. So that's what's up right there, and he is coming with it. And man, he is the father, and I'm assuming he's talking about Cain, but he is the father of Cain, and so that just kind of gives him more of a reason to try to come into the picture. I don't agree with messing up a happy home, because she is married, but he was there first. They do have a son together. The current husband is in jail. It's still till death do you part, and she hustling for money. So he coming like, here's $1 million to get your nephew out. I'm trying to be he is late or whatever. Well, no, he didn't know he was the father because she kept that, so he figured it out. So it's not like he was a deadbeat, but he did pay the $1 million. He's like, I can take care of you and your family. You don't have to hustle like this. You're already struggling. You can get the D whenever you want. You don't got to do no conjugal visits. You can wear whatever color lingerie. Yeah, and we saw in episode 3, he was able to make her smile. He was able to make her smile. And so it looks like MECCA's, I don't see how Tejada can get the draws anymore. I think he's out of there, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see. I also like the fact that I'm seeing Effie and Deanna work together too. That's dope right there. We need to keep that energy, you know, some sisterhood. I mean, they don't need to be stealing clothes with clone credit cards and stuff, but I like that energy. Also, I mean, well, how y'all feeling about, you know, the grandmother and the custody thing too? It's kind of just weird how Tariq was able to get the footage of showing her, you know, be mean to the baby and abuse the baby at the gas station. But, you know, I don't blame Tariq and I don't blame her either. You know, like she's like, I'm not gonna let him with you. You destroy everything. And that is true. They are in this predicament right now because of him. So they're both right. So, you know, how they going to handle that as well? That's kind of interesting. I like that. I like that. I also love the fact that Kane jammed the gun so that they would not get into more mess for, like, you know, just knocking over a jewelry store. It was stupid that Braden exposed himself, you know, because they're going to have some footage of him coming in there before Kane shot out the cameras, I'm assuming. But you know, I am glad that they was able to get out of there, you know, without you know, somebody dying or them firing a shot at somebody. So, you know, that's kind of cool right there. I like that. And, you know, that's pretty much it, guys. I'm really interested in seeing what Lauren is going to do with this wire. That's interesting. It also came out, you know, Monet and Kane, they had their conversation. She knows that Kane is the one that is responsible for Ramirez, and they pulled out the body. Something that's really stupid to me is the fact that, like, when they got back to the dorm, that is when Braden started throwing up. Like, that was a weak plot point for him to have to go to the bathroom for Kane to hide Ramirez's badge. And the thing is, first of all, Kane, why are you doing that, man? That's stupid. That's just stupid. You just don't need to get over crossing people. Just chill out. And then two is like, why would Tariq have the badge anyway? Like, oh, I'm going to murder him and keep the badge like as a trophy. I mean, I would be like, if Tariq gets caught with it, it's like, clearly somebody planted this here, you know, because of whatever reason. Why would I keep the badge? Like, on campus, while y'all are doing an investigation, wouldn't I want to get rid of any evidence? Why would I keep that here? So that's just dumb. Like, nobody would, you know what I'm saying? Like, if that was me, I'd be like, why would I keep the badge in my dorm? Clearly somebody put this here. You know, it's easy. Y'all are going around campus, you know, and questioning people about drugs. So why would I, you know what I'm saying? Why would I leave this here? You know, but Kane's an idiot, but it was a good episode. A lot of bombs dropped. And I can't wait for episode 5. And, you know, I haven't even watched the trailer yet. So guys, that is just my opinion. Make sure y'all come back Monday, 4:30 p.m., 5 p.m. CST, maybe around that time. And it may not be the time, but it's going to be Monday. But just subscribe and you'll know. If you did like the video, please go ahead and give me that thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel, helping me reach 35,000 subscribers. My guys, again, I just want to thank you so much for tuning in. And before you go, don't forget that my name is Brandon Keith Avery, and that's just my opinion. Peace.